Hey guys, so today I thought I'd try out a reaction video. I thought I'd try out doing one of these. It's just because of so much inspiration from all these vocal coaches I see on YouTube. And I know a few things about internal vocal technician in general as well. So today what I'm going to be reacting to is Dimash Kudaibergen, or Kudaibergen. It's one of those two. I don't know why people have such a hard time with his last name. Singing this song called No. I've seen other vocal coaches I'm familiar with do it, react to it specifically, and I wanted to see how this could be another unique performance of his. Just to give a little background, I know of his capabilities. I know what it's like for him to sing. So I feel like being surprised, even though the only thing surprising about this song is the fact that I have no idea what I'm watching. So let's get started. As usual, a big crowd. Actually, I realized that I have seen this before, but one time that maybe this might be the song I remember. The only thing I remember is the setting. I don't remember what this song is like, if I've seen it before. I see flat 6 on the violin.
Исчезает до утра. Мы с тобой два беглеца, убегаем от себя.
I don't know if I heard this correctly, but I either heard him singing in a very low part of his falsetto, or go from really breathy chest voice into a regular chest voice. Essentially, I heard very breathy, very airy tone in general, and I don't know if that was a transition from his falsetto in a low place of it to chest voice, or just increasing the amount of vocal cord closure in his general chest voice. And of course, his usual dynamics. One thing I'd also like to point out is the fact that his vibrato may be slow, but it's very consistent and not as unpleasant as like a lot of people do with their vibrato. I mean, it's just constantly slow and consistent. Now he's speeding it up a little bit.
Сердце в руки взять, скачай, знай, у влюбленных два крыла, в небе бьют колокола любовь, рвет сердца.
I knew it. even though speaking in languages besides English, which I'm sure this one is English, even though I can't really understand him, essentially, when we don't understand him, we still feel something when he sings. His charisma is always flawless when he sings. To pair that with complete control of vocal registration is immensely masterful. Now that's falsetto. That's falsetto. I was right. Mixed voice. And there he goes, getting higher and higher. Wow. What I like about when he goes, ah! Like, in those small moments, it really keeps you interested. It keeps you on your toes because you don't know what he's going to do in all of his performances. It is that dynamic. It is that wide of a range in dynamics. Goodness gracious. Still mix. I'm not sure how long that was. I'm going to assume it was from like a 5 to 8 second long note. That is extremely hard for me, specifically when I go up to the high G or the high A flat. For me to hold something that high as long as that is immensely difficult for any singer. And yet he just has enough experience to be able to do that. Unfathomable to the T. And one thing I also want to point out is the fact that when he's going all the way up there, it sounded like at first he was going to go up past the high C for males, which is the C5, but he didn't. And I'm surprised at that, because he normally has the capability to bring his chest mix all the way up into the female register. I mean, let's continue before I keep going. I was confused at first. I thought that was his voice. I know it doesn't sound anything like it, or at least not much like it, but it sounds like he's quickly, very, very quickly, flipping between falsetto and mix to create some sort of yodeling effect. Because yodeling is literally when you switch between chest or mix, whichever one it would be, to falsetto. That is the literal operation of yodeling, and that's what I think he's doing so far. Oh my. even in the octave below, the G4, for me, for something like that, would be really hard to add vibrato on. Oh my goodness, this guy is unfathomable. Okay, so, as usual, he's inhuman. He lives elsewhere in the cosmos. I mean, even now I'd be surprised. Even now I'm surprised at it. While I've heard him do this multiple times in many of his songs, it's still amazing and hard to comprehend. Actually, I get over it quickly, and yet when I'm in the moment, I'm like, wow, awesome. But honestly, I've heard him go high, like quite high, in many of his performances, but it's been so long since I've heard him go all the way up to the high F6, and then continue going all the way up to that kind of range several times. I mean, normally he just goes there for a few moments, and those moments in other songs are at separate parts of the song entirely. He left all of this at the end, and I couldn't say anything against that, because it's literally a very good way to end a song as passionate as this, mainly because it adds a good ending of where we've gotten to at the climax of the song. Of course, it was more realistic for him to go to whistle register like he did to get that high F, but I could still hear an actual head voice when he was going to the D6. The D above high C, by the way. Oh my. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I knew it.
Спасибо!
Ooh! Ooh! That's the pitch I heard when he spoke. By the way, this is something weird. I'm gonna throw it out there. This is something weird I do. I automatically hear certain pitches when someone's voice, just by pure inflection. Ooh!
Спасибо!
Essentially, that is proof that he is a true tenor. Usually, this may sound weird, I can tell whenever someone has a certain voice type based on the range of inflection that they have. And right there was a sign that he was a true tenor. And overall, most tenors are able to go up to the female range without any problem. It's us baritones, like myself, that prefer to stay in our own octave. Even so, when they do that, it makes it easy for us baritones, because we have realistic high notes for when we pull it all the way an octave below.
Спасибо огромное. Дорогие друзья,
разрешите мне, пожалуйста, воспользоваться положением. Сегодня для меня особый день, потому что именно сегодня моей родной сестренке исполняется 18 лет, друзья. Я хочу воспользоваться моментом и поздравить ее с днем рождения, пожелать ей всего самого наилучшего и сказать, что я ее очень сильно люблю. Спасибо, друзья!
Еще раз ваши бурные аплодисменты.
Wow.
Маэстро Игорь Крутой.
Yeah, I remember this guy.
Dimash.
Considering how many videos I've watched of Dimash performing in general, I could definitely say that this seems like his personal piano accompanier. Accompanier? I have no idea what the word is. That's a surprise considering I'm dominantly an instrumentalist. I know a few things about voice, but certainly not as much as instruments. Anyway, I mean, yeah, this was certainly a performance where I knew what to expect, but I did not know at all when to expect it. Like I said, I remember what his capabilities are, and I can certainly say, just from a few things I've watched of him, that he can go higher than how high he did in this video. I just don't know when they're going to happen. That's purely it. I'm just gonna end the video here, because it's hard to process. Well, slightly. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end, you are amazing. If you got any value out of this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below with your notifications on if you want more. Tell me if you did get a lot of value out of this, what I could possibly react to in the future, and I would also like to hear if there's any covers you would like me to do in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.